you. Hello. Doesn't it look nice? Isn't it cozy? We could sing some carols if you wanted to. Or I could just sing. I don't really mind. You look good. You scrubbed up. Oh, thank you. I'm going to play the whole album from start to finish. I'll probably have gaps in between songs, as is customary. But yeah, the album has an arc in that it's themed around a relationship that begins very well, as they so often do, and then takes a few twists and turns. So don't be surprised if you're getting sadder and sadder as the night goes on. That's natural. There'll be some fun stuff later to pick us back up. But this first song is called You Keep Flooding In. I remember when I thought this fear of you was a symptom of a sheltered flowering youth. Now I know that this fear of you was a symptom of the way I feel about you. But I wasn't ready for that. You knew that I wasn't ready. And here we are again. You keep flooding in. You keep flooding in. I know that there's a lot of things in you. Quantum truth, tinder waiting dry. I believe that every one of these things in you will break through and ignite. I will be ready for that. You know I'll always be ready to be with you again. You keep flooding in. You keep flooding in. You keep flooding in. Ah, you keep flooding in. You keep flooding. You keep flooding in. Remember when I thought this fear of you was a symptom of a sheltered flowering you. Now I know that this fear of you was a symptom of the way I love you. Thank you very much. How was the cocktail? Is it good? I haven't had one yet. I'm going to have one after. I have, however, had a lot of food. I've broken my own rule, which is to not eat for like hours before a gig. And we thought, oh, we'll get a takeaway. We've worked quite hard today. We got a takeaway in from, is it Al Bayek in Heaton? Yeah, a couple of people recognising that. And so when it was here, I was thinking, I'll pick, and then I'll have my main meal afterwards. And then, I don't know what happened. Something took over me, and I basically just went, ah! I didn't have this dress on at that point. And that was my mistake. Always eat in the dress you're going to perform in. That's today's lesson, people, men and women alike. So yeah, I've been backstage burping lots. And every burp's been like a triumph. It's been amazing. I've been like that. Yes! I'm edging ever closer to the perfect performance when I get out there. But I can already tell it's not going to happen. I can already tell in a really quiet moment there will be a huge burp. And it's being videoed and it's being recorded. So we'll just look forward to that together, collectively. It'll be an icebreaker. I'll try and do it early on. And if it doesn't happen, then I'll see you at the Cumberland afterwards and we'll have a burp off. Yeah? Great. This is Boy at the Wedding. Boy at the wedding, I pretended not to notice you at all. Wondered if you wanted to take me home. My lips were spreading when you got your friend to ask me if I might want you to take me home. Don't expect much more than anything that I'd like to give. I gave that up last year. Now it's for my joy I have to live. Boy at the wedding, oh my underskirt would billow as I dance. I like to dance alone. Then under bedding you will find a wench to woo our hedonos. Oh, can you speak in tongues? Don't expect much more than anything that I'd like to give. I gave up love last year. Now it's for my joy I have to live. Boy at the wedding, I pretended not to notice you at all. Wondered if you wanted to take me home. Then under bedding you will find a wench to woo our hedonos. Oh, you can speak in tongues. Thank you so much. It's so nice to play a real piano. I've had a really lovely week where I've got to play 2 house gigs in 2 different houses with real pianos, and then this is a Bluthner, and that's one of the best. It's a total beast though, it's so loud. So when we were sound checking it, it was like, in my head I was wrestling a steer to the ground with my bare hands. And I'm just about getting the measure of it now, but it's a pleasure, but it's kind of like, whoa, it gives you loads back. Yeah, I'm having a good time. Are you? Yeah. Oh, good. That's good news. This is a song called Breaking Distances. And it's based on the idea that it's the little things that make up a relationship. And it's the big gestures and it's the kind of big feelings. But at the end of the day, you either can or can't live with some of the little things. For example, if the person that you're with has a different braking distance in a car to you, there is a good chance that relationship is not long-term, in my humble opinion. Having said that, my mum and dad completely buck that trend, because even now, Mum, and you've had a long and happy marriage, but even now, you do that thing on the dashboard, like, that's when you're meant to brake, Dad, yeah? And then he brakes, yeah? And I'm amazed that you're still together, but you are, and I really applaud you for that. Sorry, Dad? Well, you know, it creates some tension for all of us, so, you know. But yeah, it's more than that, really. It's based on the idea that the details are what really count, I think, or something. This is Breaking Distances. He said, let's make our vow, then drove me homeward. We watched Northumberland disappear. I drank a Talisker, I drank the flask dry, till I'd found existential clarity. I don't always get my way with him, but he always gets my way. Our breaking distances, our need for distance is the same. I don't always get my way with him, but he always gets my ways. So I think I'll take my vow with him, 'cause I want him in my days. Thanks. So this next song feels always really appropriate to play in Newcastle because it was written after I'd been to the Cumberland Arms. And if you're wondering who provided you with your amazing Imago cocktails, it was indeed the Cumberland Arms. Woohoo! So I'll take this opportunity now to thank Joe and Carl for really encouraging this whole idea, because it was round at your house when we were having carver and food that you went, "What do you want for your lunch?" And I went, "I don't know." And then we kind of got chatting, and then I went, "I want this, and I want this, and I want a grand piano, and I want to be at the Cumberland," and it all just seemed a bit in my head like, that's not going to happen. And then Joe and Carl and Alex and John all went, "Yeah, it can." And I went, "That's me told. Wicked, let's do it." So thank you, really thank you guys for tonight and for everything that you do for me. It's amazing to have support like you give, so thank you. And for booze as well. So this is The Meat That Needs Mending. I wrote this after a really good night at the Cumberland, got home, had a really nice taxi driver, and I didn't feel like the conversation had finished. So I carried it on in song, and it goes like this. Take me as far as a fiver will get me. I am officially running away. Took me some time before I could speak again. The words had grown weak and the melodies pale. I cannot handle his clean musk upon my skin if he is going to keep leaving. Oh, I would much rather he stayed grubby, cause one day we're laughing and next we are grieving. Ha 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 ow, ow, ho 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 ho. I can't articulate all that is bothering me when I am mute. He keeps loving me if I go dark. He bounces back into me, cuts through to get to the meat that needs mending. Oh, I cannot handle his clean musk upon my skin if he is going to keep leaving. Oh, I would much rather he stayed grubby, cause one day we're laughing, next we are grieving. Take me as far as a fiver will get me, then I will walk back before he's even clocked that I'm gone. Ish. Thank you. So this is the title song from the album. It's really weird having a mic. I've not gigged with a mic for the whole week. I'm feeling a bit like, oh, what are you? Go away. But I'm trying to get used to it and not diva out. But yeah, this is Imago, and that is a word that I've heard various pronunciations of over the last few weeks and enjoyed every single one. Imago, Imago, Imago. So Imago is my understanding of it, and it's a word that has two meanings for me. Well, two meanings not just for me, but for the world in the dictionary. The first is that it refers to the final stage that a creature goes through in its metamorphosis. And it's often the stage that it gets its wings and becomes sexually mature. And I quite like that idea, quite like that we're all in various phases all the time, and that resonated with me massively, and the idea that we're sometimes stuck and we need to change. And the other meaning is a psychological term, which is a kind of a couples therapy called Imago therapy. And my understanding of it, and I'm not a psychologist, but I dabble, is that it centers around the idea that sometimes in relationships we're not really very real about the person that we're with. We project onto them, and we have an image of who we think they should be, or even who they are, which isn't quite accurate. So Imago therapy is around kind of breaking down those assumptions and unpicking them. And both of those things rang massively true for me in the context of the relationship that this album is based on. So yeah, I'm also really chuffed because I managed to get the word ombudsman in a song. Will you look at me, cocooned idle all the time, awaiting my imago, awaiting my imago, sucking on my little finger. I'm trying my best to judge the wind. You and me, we're cunningly waiting for somebody else to come and draw the line, awaiting our imago, awaiting our imago, sucking on each other's fingers. We're trying our best to judge the wind. An ombudsman came and showed me my shame, told an in-joke he was an old soak. He made me kiss him, now I miss him, and all his bakeries under my apple trees. An ombudsman came and showed me my shame, told an in-joke he was an old soak. He made me kiss him, now I miss him, and all his bakeries under my apple trees. Will you look at me, cocooned idle all the time, awaiting our imago, awaiting our imago, sucking on each other's fingers. We're trying our best to judge the wind, sucking on my little finger. I'm trying my best to judge the Thank you. This song I have never played on the piano before, so this will be fun. I usually play on guitar, but you seem like nice people and you've paid a lot of money to be here, so I didn't want to do that to you. I'm not very good on the guitar. Yeah, so I've put it onto piano, and also, you know, we're here, it's nice, there's lights, I'll give it a go. This is called Beached. A lot of the album was written probably by the end of last year. Most of the songs were in the can, and then there were a few that got finished off earlier this year as part of a songwriting marathon. So I'd do a song a day for a month, and some of them are proper bobbins. They're like rubbish, and they like last for 10 seconds. For example, the reggae song I wrote about a super jail. Yeah, I don't know why that came about. But this one came out on day 2, I think, so it was like the 2nd of January, 3rd of January, and it just seemed relevant, and it's called Beached, and it's about having an imaginary conversation with a beached whale. I whisper my mistakes to a beached, injured whale. We lie together, heavy on the sand. We are waiting for a portal. We are not original. We will not make it home. Gravel and sand fill our lower lobes, our skin and bone feel overexposed. I whisper my mistakes to a beached, injured whale. We lie together, heavy on the sand. I look in her big dry eyes, see her looking back at mine. She's not ready to go, perhaps because I wonder if she's a mother, and then why I never was. I could have been a simple lover, wonder why I never was. Gravel and sand fill our lower lobes, our skin and bone feel overexposed. I whisper my mistakes to a beached, injured whale. We lie together, heavy on the sand. We are waiting for a portal. We are not original. We will not make it home. I should say that is played beautifully on the album by Matt Stoker on guitar. So look forward to that. You can sense it's getting sadder, can't you? It's palpable, isn't it? Yeah. This is the EastEnders part of the set. Actually, no, it kind of gets a bit more upbeat, actually, for a bit. It's Blizzard next. I have a tradition of putting a song from the last album on the new album. I don't know why. It keeps happening. And it's not really because it's a tradition. It's because it just seems to fit. Like the songs just go, me, I belong here, and I go, fine, you're in charge, I'll do that. So this is Blizzard. I shouldn't have practiced this today. If you practice this song, it always goes wrong because it's got a key change in it. And when it gets to the key change, my brain goes, have you done that already? Which key? So we'll just see what happens. If it goes horribly wrong, I'll just start again. Nobody's going to die. It's only music, isn't it? I go walking by rivers at night, meandering home in the dark. You say don't take risks, existence is based on this. Leave with 10,000 stories to tell, meander on home in the dark. It's only when you go that I know that you are made for me. It's only when you show me you are lost that I will be willing. Love, it climbs to the top of a really tall thing, and it walks in a blizzard without clothes. and it laughs as it's falling off the really tall thing, and it's bold as it shivers exposed, willing, willing to drown, willing to drown, willing to drown. Love, it climbs to the top of a really tall thing, and it walks in a blizzard without clothes, and it laughs as it's falling off the really tall thing, and it is bold as it shivers exposed. Brr, wailing, wailing, willing to drown, willing to drown, willing to drown. I walk away from your river. I won't look its mirror in the eye. I walk away from your river. I won't look its mirror in the eye until I'm willing, willing, willing. I'm quite relieved now. That was good. We made the album in just the most lovely way. If you're on Facebook with me, then I don't even need to talk between songs because I'm such an oversharer. You're probably sick of hearing about me. But yeah, we created an Imago bunker at Alex's house, and Alex is doing live sound tonight, so throw him a nod and buy him a drink. And Alex and myself and John Bidgood, who is doing the recording tonight. These guys are never off. Oh no, they don't get a night off. And we just had the loveliest time. I've never made an album that was so easy. And we decided to take a one-take approach. So all the songs that you hear on the album, all of the piano and all of the vocals are all one take. Which you might be thinking, but loads of records aren't made like that. Most of mine previously haven't been. We've done take after take after take, and we've taken the best bits from each take and we've made a dream take. And that's how it works a lot of the time, anyway, on pop records. And that just didn't seem right for this. This year, this whole record, the place I'm at as a human is all about being honest and open and vulnerable and flawed and being all right with that. And it's been an incredible experience. So in some ways, it's been the easiest album to make logistically, but emotionally, it's also been the hardest. So for me, today is the culmination of a year of learning and sharing and oversharing and finding a new way to be in the world, because the other way that I had wasn't working. So it's huge that you're here. It's massive that this night is happening, because this time last year I wasn't particularly well. And some of the records about that and about depression. And I realise now I've been writing about that for years, and that's a safe place for me to have talked about it. And I'm finally at the point now, without wanting this to become a group therapy session, which some of your faces are starting to tell me it is. But yeah, I've learned a lot. And one of the things I've learned is that empathy is a massive antidote to shame. Because there's a lot of shame that comes with mental illness, and some of you will know that firsthand. So I'm all for sharing now, and being here tonight and playing this record, and recording the record in the way that we recorded it is all part of that ethos. So thank you for being here. And I don't think it's necessarily courageous of me as much as it's courageous of you to sit there and kind of hear me bare my soul. So well done you people. And also, different audiences bring out different bits in you as a performer. So one of the things that's really great about tonight for me is it's a proper happening. Like, this is never going to happen again. This is not just another gig. This is it. This is it. And you're here, and it's great. So I'm really grateful, and I'm really pleased to see you. And thank you for putting on decent clothes. And some of you look like you've even washed. So thank you. This next song is called Tiger Lily, and I think it's about jealousy. I think it's about that moment when the detachment begins and you start to get quite paranoid about what that is. So yeah, this is Tiger Lily. He longs for Tiger Lily. She's such a sweet Achilles heel, oh. I'll never land in Neverland again. He threw my baby teeth away, replaced them in the jar with her hair. I'll never love another man again. Stay, stay, stay. You don't really have to go to her. It would be better if you stay, stay, stay. I know you're longing, but don't go to her. But I know you long for Tiger Lily. She broke you last time, still you go there. She'll never love you like a man again. I'll never land in Neverland again. This is called Suitcases. We put the suitcases out of our eye line to rest and played it grown-ups till the heat went from our chest. You can write all the dialogue we share. I'll take to cooking the books to make it look like we were both really there. I heard you say once you needed a friend, but then I loved you too hard. You seemed to know how this would end. There's an absence of light with our curtains drawn, stops the cracks in our tickets from shining on. Just is there's no quiz to be figured out. I'm gone and I'm left without any doubt, 'cause I couldn't pretend, and in the end The suitcases made their own way. There's only so many days without kisses to wait before the heart starts to break apart like tectonic plates. You can raise all your hell and be gone. Leave the cracks in my ticket to shine on. Just is there's no quiz to be figured out. I'm gone and I'm left without any doubt, 'cause I couldn't pretend, and in the end the suitcases made their own way. The suitcases made their own way. There's only so many days without kisses to wait before the heart starts to break apart like tectonic plates. Teeth till they are pointed, file my nails till they are closed, because you are the victim, you are anointed. I warned you and warned you, but you are still disappointed. Blacken my heart, I'll bring the apple, tarnish my wings, and watch me fall. My sin's the only hymn in your self-soothing chapel, and you will stay on your pulpit just as long as I grapple. If I lied, it's 'cause I could not see the truth. And I tried, but how I failed. And now I'm tired. I'm tired. Do you think we can get this to the Cumberland Arms if we all carried it? Because I'm getting quite attached now, actually. Are you all right? How are you doing? Yeah? Good. It's not getting any happier, I'm afraid, sorry. Yeah, the next song is, I think this is my favourite song I've ever written, and possibly the saddest as well, but if you're allowed to have favourites, like a favourite child, having an album launch is a little bit like inviting people to a collective labour. We made sure you all had a very good view. I said that earlier to my cousin Beck, and she went, "That's weird." And as I've said it out loud to a room full of 100 people, I'm realising you were absolutely right. Sorry. But thank you for coming to the Birth of My Little Children songs. This next one is You Can't Afford to Feel It, and it's about the idea that you hang on to shit because it becomes addictive, because it makes you connected to whatever the shit is about. So I wrote this years after a situation had ended. I thought, I've assimilated that, I'm fine. And then this song came out and I was like, oh yeah, actually that's still really relevant for me. And yeah, it's just the idea that we get addicted to pain, I suppose, and that's not a really good thing and you need to watch out for it. A cautionary tale. And I think that's true of all kinds of pain. So, and I also think, without wanting this to become Worthy Fest, that music's great for like allowing us to think about that stuff and feel that stuff without it being big, scary land. And I think I love music for that. I write music because it allows me to do that and go to the end of my fingertips and go in a way that I wouldn't necessarily want to do in real life. So hooray for music and being emo. This is You Can't Afford to Feel It. The arthritis in my fingers reminds me of your mother, and I think I understand her better than I did. I can imagine that you're angry and that you can't afford to feel it, 'cause to feel it is to still be connected in some way. I heard you went back to the artist. She's oh so kind and oh so loyal, but she reminds me of your mother. I bet she kisses without tongue. And love, I know that I sound angry, oh, but to me that is an anchor, 'cause to feel it is to still be connected in some way. The information comes and goes. Today it's hardly there at all, but I have formed an odd attachment to the undulating pain. I've tried to love another lover. He's oh so kind and oh so loyal, and he has even met my mother. Oh, but he can't kiss me like you did. I think that last bit was too candid, and if he asks, I'll claim invention. Creative license, plain and simple, but he'll still feel a stab of pain. And then we'll both form an attachment to our doomed unfolding saga. I think those issues with my father have turned me into a cliche. I caught the early worm this morning, awoke to find that I had dreamed you, and that this whole song was invention to feel connected in some way. Still the arthritis in my fingers reminds me of your mother. To be reminded is to still be better than I have become. It's not over yet, folks. Part 2. The buses should be outside in the next 5 minutes. What is buses? Get out thinking. We can have a sing-along even. And they're going to take us to the Cumberland Downs. If you brought your own transport, feel free to use it. You're not obliged to take the bus. Bike it, walk it, it's up to you. But from 9 o'clock onwards, we'll have entertainment from some of my favourite artists. So all kinds of wonderful people. Matt Stoker, Lisa Ellie, Ned Clay, John and Alex are playing, and I'll play again, and I might be joined by a fellow Sharks Club Rest member as well. So there's loads more to come. So please do come to the Cumberland if you're able, that would be lovely. And I'm going to possibly get a bit tipsy, and there might be dancing. Mother, should we dance together? I'm not sure it's ever happened. Should we sing? Maybe? this is the last song on the record, and it was the last song I wrote for the record, and yeah, there's not a huge amount to say about it apart from it says everything I need to say in the moment of writing it, and it continues to say everything that I need to say about that relationship and what it left for you, and what it taught me as well. So, I can't talk about it too much. I'll let you. But yeah, this is dead language, and it's a cappella. That means I wrote this on the lake, on Valley Lake in Peggy, in Wales. If you've ever been, go. It's amazing. So yeah, this is dead language. Thank you so much for coming. I'll see you on the bus. There's an old Latin word for the way of old strength. I can't bring it to mind. I'm not well enough read, but around him she seems like she walks on her toes, hiding her sorrows and serious woes. She'll call on her mother to steady her hand, and she'll pick her own pockets to meet the demand for the copper she's needing to feed his machine. But the slop's just a door to an endless ravine, and it's no way to thrive, to be always deprived. His colours aren't colours, they're black or they're white. He'll sift through her words and go fishing for doubt. He'll hold her head hard so to meet with his gaze. Promise your love means you always must stay, but it's no way to be always on your knees. She met him, a maiden, she'll leave him a hall. When the hours sit empty, she'll think of him more. She'll still hear his low voice, his old bag of tricks that robbed her of hers but will no longer stick. 'Cause it's no way to go, to be held always low. Up away, girl, and go away from his arms. And it's no way to be, to have no joy or peace. You'll find your release away from his arms. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh no, stop it, you're making me cry. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we should say thank you as well to St. Luke's and Robert, because they've let us use this space and they've been so accommodating. So thank you very, very much. Can we hear it for everyone at St. Luke's? Thank you. Cool. Okay. So, on to the Cumberland Arms. Buses should be outside. This is actually my dream moment of my entire life, getting to say that. Buses should be outside. I would be on board. Yeah, get on the bus with me if you've got to get on the bus with me. don't if you don't. If you've had enough and you want a break, that's fine. But yeah, I might do an impromptu unofficial tour of Newcastle as we go and show you some of the sites where there's been various misdemeanours. So thank you so much for coming to this bit, and I'll see you at the Cumberland. Thank you.